Hi everyone, and welcome back to Kids Corner. It is Christmas Eve, and I am so happy to be here with you today. Let's start off by listening to the story of why we celebrate Christmas. I wonder if you know how Christmas started. Well, it started 2,000 years ago when a few things happened. The first thing that happened was that an angel appeared to an old man named Zechariah who served in the temple. The angel told him that after a lifetime of waiting, his wife Elizabeth would have a baby son. This boy would be someone special. He would be filled with God's Holy Spirit and prepare the way for another special child named Jesus. When we read the Bible, we hear the stories about how this boy, John, would grow up to prepare the way for Jesus by baptizing people in water. The really important thing is what happened at almost the same time in a town called Nazareth. A young woman named Mary lived there, and she loved God. Mary was engaged to be married to a man called Joseph. One day, she was visited by an angel named Gabriel. "Don't be afraid, Mary. God is very pleased with you," said the angel. "You are going to have a baby. You will have a baby boy named Jesus, and he will be so great. People will call Jesus the Son of God, and he will be a king with a kingdom that will never, ever end." "But there's a problem," Mary said. "How am I supposed to have a baby by myself? Joseph and I aren't married." "That isn't a problem for God," Gabriel said, "through the power of the Holy Spirit." Mary bowed her head. "I am God's servant. May your promises come true." She was so filled with joy that she sang a song to God with beautiful words that we can find in the Bible, praising God for all God had already done and would continue to do. Now, when Joseph heard about all of this, he wasn't really too sure how he felt about it. But Joseph had a dream, and an angel spoke to him in the dream, telling him not to worry. The baby that was coming was a gift from God. You might have expected that Mary would have stayed in Nazareth to have her baby, but God had other plans. At this time, Israel was controlled by the powerful Roman Empire ruled by Caesar Augustus. He wanted people to pay more money to the government in taxes, so he ordered everyone to go back to where they came from so they could be registered for taxes. Joseph had come from Bethlehem, so that was where he had to go. He took Mary, who was very pregnant and ready to have her baby, with him. It was a long journey when Mary and Joseph got to Bethlehem. They found there was nowhere for them to stay. The only place they could find was a room where animals were kept. This is where baby Jesus was born. Mary and Joseph wrapped him up and put him in a cattle trough. Bethlehem was a village in the countryside surrounded by fields where shepherds kept their sheep. That night, an angel appeared to the shepherds in a dazzling blaze of light. But the angel told them not to be afraid and said, "I'm bringing you good news of great joy. A great king has been born in Bethlehem. You will find him in a manger." Then the sky was filled with hundreds of angels singing and praising God. The shepherds rushed off to find the baby. When they returned back to their sheep, they sang praises to God and told everyone about what they had seen. When baby Jesus was just a few days old, Mary and Joseph took him to the great temple in Jerusalem. To their surprise, two people at the temple knew who Jesus was. One was a very old man named Simeon. He told Mary and Joseph that the child would be a light to show God to the whole world. The other was a woman named Anna, and she was very wise. She saw that Jesus would be a great king for God's people. The shepherds were not the only ones to visit Jesus when he was born. Far away to the east of Israel, there were some wise men who studied the stars. These wise men noticed an unusual star in the sky that told them a new king had been born. They prepared some special gifts and began to travel to find the baby. Now at this time, Israel wasn't just ruled by the Romans, but by a king called Herod, who was known to be nasty and cruel. He was always worrying that someone would come to take his throne away from him. The wise men from the east went directly to Herod's palace, expecting that they would find the baby there. They explained why they had come, and Herod became jealous, thinking this baby might be God's king. He was an evil person and pretended he too wanted to find the baby to honor him, pay his respects, and bring gifts. He asked the wise men to go to Bethlehem and come back after finding the baby to tell him where the baby was. Guided by the star, the wise men journeyed to Bethlehem. They found where Jesus was. So happy, they opened their treasure chests to give their gifts of gold, sweet-smelling frankincense, and a spicy ointment called myrrh. As the wise men were planning to return to their homes, God warned them not to go near Herod, and so they slipped away without Herod noticing. Later, eventually, after some time in Egypt, and we'll learn about this on another day, Mary and Joseph returned to Nazareth. And that is the story of Jesus' birth and why Christmas is such a special day to us. Thank you so much for joining me for this very special story on this very special night. And remember to click the link in the description to get to a few songs to listen to get you in the holiday spirit. I hope you have a blessed Christmas, and I can't wait to see you in the new year.